Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Wake Up. My name is Spencer Welch. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We are talking today about the attack of two oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman, the U.S. story, and some contradictions out there that exist, no surprise. The departure of Sarah Huckabee Sanders of the Toronto Raptors got their first N.B.A. title last night. Shouts to them. They're doing a great job last night with the Golden State Warriors. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to. But we start, obviously, in the Gulf of Oman, where there is some contradictions now emerging about this oil tanker attack that we talked about a little bit yesterday when it was first coming out in the Gulf of Tonkin. Trying to do the Gulf of Tonkin thing all over again. That's pretty funny. So, history really does repeat itself, folks. That's the truth of the matter. So Yukaka Katada is the owner of one of the stricken oil tankers crippled in the explosions in the Gulf of Oman on Thursday, saying the U.S. is wrong about the way the attack was carried out. Speaking at a press conference in Tokyo on Friday, he contradicted Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and the U.S. Navy, which released a video that purports to show an Iranian patrol boat removing a limpet mine from the port side of Kokuka Courageous. Katada said his ship was attacked on the starboard side by a flying object, not by a mine. It seems that something flew towards them. That created the hole, is the report I received, Katada said, according to Financial Times. It seems there was a high chance they were attacked by a flying object. The impact was well above the water. I don't think it was a torpedo. The Japanese ship owner did not say who might be responsible for the attack, and Iran has vehemently denied it was involved. So it's very interesting stuff there. As to what's going on. He's pointing to a completely opposite side in a completely different way, so it's going to be interesting to see who is right. And, I mean, you probably know who I trust more. It's not the U.S. government, that's for sure. They've proven themselves to be quite untruthful when it comes to these matters. So I think I'm going to hold back on trusting them, at least for now. Now we look at the U.S. story here. It was a video released by the U.S. Navy Friday morning, appears to show a Iranian Revolutionary Guard patrol vessel removing an unexploded limpet mine again from an oil tanker stuck in an attack in the Gulf of Oman Thursday. So the Associated Press reports the action suggests the Islamic Republic sought to remove evidence of its involvement from the scene. On Thursday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo blamed Iran for the attack on the Norwegian and Japanese oil tankers, accusing Iran denies involvement, accusing the U.S. of waging an Iranophobic campaign. The U.S. Navy responded to the attack of the oil tankers on Thursday, evacuating several of its mariners. So it's going to be very interesting to see what more comes out about this. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, I think we're probably going to see a little bit of conflicting stories. I really am conflicted about whether more information on this is going to get out. I mean, again, probably not, but it would really be nice if we were able to find out more about what this could have been, and if this guy who supposedly owned one of these ships could offer proof and contradict the U.S. government, would be a further blow to their credibility on these matters. I think that's something that would be very important if this drive for war, which it most likely will, continue. Because this is what this is. This is a drive for war, for sure. It's a push for war with the U.S. government. Trump has hired people who really want to see it. He himself has talked about it before. Some of his closest confidants are huge, radical regime change supporters in Iran, so it's very likely to assume that this very well could happen, and that's the crazy thing. That is the crazy thing. So anyway, this is not very assuring. President Trump and his administration sought advice from a vocal climate change denier to help shape an environmental message, according to the Associated Press, which saw emails acquired through FOIA. The emails, written in 2018 and 19, included correspondence with William Happer, a member of the National Security Council and official from the Heartland Institute, one of America's most vocal climate change challengers. The AP quotes a March 3rd email where Happer and Heartland advisor Hal Dorian in the Heartland advisor Hal Dorian, in which the Trump official was given arguments that would help counter, literally fed arguments for the guy on the National Security Council who's going to try and help counter this idea of climate change. In those emails, Happer admitted he also discussed another issue with the Heartland advisor. It's equivalent to formulating anti-terrorism policy by consulting with groups that deny terrorism exists. Matthew Nisbet a professor of environmental communication and public policy at Northeastern, told AP. So it seems to be about right there, because this is definitely some very disturbing stuff, and it shows again, if we needed any more proof that where they stand on this issue, and it's not going to be towards the side of climate justice or some climate change anytime soon. And that's the idea. You cannot work with these people. Like, they are not going to work with you. They're out for one reason, and it's not to be friends with you. It's to make sure that your ideas fail, and that is why. And that's really why we need to see some of this happen. Like, this is why we really need to see some change. We really need to see some new elections come over. And, like, if we could get that to happen, if we could get some real new change, I think it would be incredibly impactful and make much more of a difference than maybe working with the Republicans ever could, because I don't think they're just up for it. They don't want to see compromise. They want to see absolute victory, and I think that's something that we, at this point, as Democrats, liberals, leftists, whatever you want to call yourself, you got to push for it. You got to push for it, because there isn't going to be any other way. I got news for you. We're living in a different time at this moment. So, anyway, we now turn to this big story in sports. The Kings are dethroned. Longtime perennial champions of the dynasty, the Warriors, have been thrown by the Toronto Raptors. They're now N.B.A. champions, 114-110. Seem a little tired this morning. You know why? Winning the 2018-19 N.B.A. Finals 4-2. Loss of Kevin Durant's seemingly inability to score at a consistent clip, and the Raptors figuring out how to defend Warriors star Steph Curry. Golden State was seemingly neutralized in the 6-game series. So Raptors' final NBA championship in the franchise's first appearance in the final. So the Warriors won the 2 previous championships and have appeared in 5 straight finals. All right, so yeah, that is all very interesting stuff. But now, here's something pretty interesting going on right now. This is a little disturbing. We talked about this yesterday. President Trump's 2020 re-election campaign says now, after saying yesterday that he is open to receiving foreign dirt from other countries. He does not care where the dirt comes from. It's like, folks, you're going to take that meeting. It's an incredible audio clip that I really do want to find for you as we transition here. Now, apparently, the term they're using from the campaign, their campaign here, doubling down on this, saying they will take damaging information on opponents on a case-by-case basis, CBS News reports. The president's directive, as I said, is a case-by-case basis. McEnany said the president's campaign staff would follow his lead, quote, on these matters. Jesus Christ. They are not going to have a good time of it then, that's for sure. Yeah, so that is going to be an incredibly interesting thing to watch. But again, here's a clip yesterday that is just insane, where he says this, and he's like, yeah, we'll take information from foreign countries, you know. By the way, yes, that is illegal. According to the FEC, it is illegal. So, yeah. The federal election chair breaks silence after Trump's foreign. This is Ellen Weintraub reiterating a statement that was illegal for anyone running for public office to solicit, accept, or receive anything of value from a foreign national in connection with a U.S. election. I mean, why isn't Donald Trump Jr. charged then? But I don't know. I would not have thought I need to say this, she said while releasing the statement, stressing that it is 100% legal to accept foreign assistance if a campaign receives a prohibited donation from a foreign source. Weintraub said the behavior should be reported to the FBI. And, yeah, it's like, apparently the thing is, I've seen a lot of things. You know what? Actually, let's just see if we can find some of this clip. And so this is quite astounding stuff. So we see from Donald Trump here, and I really want to find this for you. Let's see if we can find it for you in just a second. Yeah, we're looking through. I want to continue to try and look through the clip, but anyway, we now turn to our next story, folks, and that is going to be the crisis that we are seeing with vaccinations and measles. The state lawmakers voted on Thursday in New York to end religious exemptions for immunizations, overcoming opposition by vaccine skeptics and others who said the measure infringed upon their constitutional right. That is very disturbing. So let's see if we go back to this clip. Here it is. Yeah, sorry to interrupt our story there, but I finally found the clip, folks, and this is what he said about this foreign interference.
Your son Don Jr. is up before the Senate Intelligence Committee today, and again, he's not charged with anything. In retrospect, though,
by the way, not only wasn't he charged, if you read with all of the horrible fake news, I mean, I was reading that my son was going to go to jail. This is a good young man, that he was going to go to jail, and then the report comes out. And they didn't even say, they hardly even talked about it.
Should he have gone to the FBI when he got that email?
Okay, let's put yourself in a position. You're a congressman. Somebody comes up and says, hey, I have information on your opponent. Do you call the FBI? I don't think.
Coming from
I'll tell you what,
you do.
I've seen a lot of things over my life. I don't think in my whole life I've ever called the FBI. In my whole life. You don't call the FBI.
My whole life,
you
folks.
throw somebody out of your office, you do whatever
Al
you do.
Gore got a stolen briefing book. He called the FBI.
Well, that's different. A stolen briefing book. This isn't a stolen. This is somebody that said, we have information on your opponent. Oh, let me call the FBI. Give me a break. Life doesn't work that way.
The FBI director says that's what should happen.
The FBI director is wrong.
Your campaign this time around, if foreigners, if Russia, if China, if someone else offers you information on an opponent, should they accept it or should they call the FBI?
I think maybe you do both. I think you might want to listen. There's nothing wrong with listening. If somebody called from a country, Norway, we have information on your opponent. Oh, I think I'd want to hear it.
You want that kind of interference in our elections?
It's not an interference. They have information. I think I'd take it. If I thought there was something wrong, I'd go maybe to the FBI. If I thought there was something wrong. But when somebody comes up with Oppo research...
Yeah, and he'll be the first one to say that there's something wrong. That's for sure.
Oh, let's call the FBI. The FBI doesn't have enough agents to take care of it. But you go and talk honestly to congressmen. They all do it. They always have. And that's the way it is. It's called Oppo research.
Folks, it's called Oppo research. All right, there's a clip. Hope you could hear it. It was a little low there. But yeah, so still quite a remarkable thing to say coming from someone like Donald Trump in that scenario. But yeah, no, we turn back to this vaccine story now. See if we can talk a little bit more about that here. In New York, where many measles cases have originated in the ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities, and now joins a handful of states that don't allow exemptions on religious grounds, because we've had literally 30 miles away from where this is coming from to you, from wherever you're listening, 30 miles away from where I'm doing this show right now, there has been a massive measles outbreak. The current measles outbreak has spread to 28 states, more than 1,000 cases in total, the highest number since 1992. This highly contagious disease can lead to complications including pneumonia and encephalitis. I'm probably saying that wrong, according to the Centers for CDC. Jessica Biel entered the vaccination debate this week, lobbying against a California bill that would tighten immunization requirements. She said on Thursday that she doesn't oppose vaccination, but rather state laws that intrude into family decisions. All right, dude. Come on. No. Cut it. Cut that out. Anyway, craziness continues in Hong Kong. In the face of mass demonstrations in Hong Kong against a plan to allow extraditions to mainland China, Beijing appears to be hunkering down. They're doubling down on this position here, folks. President Xi Jinping has not publicly commented on the protest, but as the state news outlets have portrayed opponents of the legislation as stooges for foreign enemies who are trying to foment disorder and humiliate China. So we see where his head's at, where the orders are coming from. He's not going to be, okay, we'll give up. No. Two members of Hong Kong's pro-Beijing establishment say the extradition bill should be delayed, appearing to break ranks with the territory's leaders. It's very interesting stuff. All right, now time for some quick hits, folks. Let's start the music. Trump's press secretary is leaving. Goodbye to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's going to step down at the end of the month. And she'll probably be best known for lying a whole bunch and ending the White House news briefing. That's something we don't really hear much about. Prosecutors dropped all pending charges against officials in Flint accused of ruining the drinking water in Michigan, casting doubt on what some had seen as a tangible step toward justice. And by the way, folks, Flint still does not have clean water. No. Democrats that have missed the cut for first presidential debate are really not a lot of them. Steve Bullock, Seth Moulton, and Wayne Messam of Florida failed